everybody, welcome to this great and exciting event. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube later, the spoiler is probably in the title and thumbnail. But here we are. You got to bask in the greatness of what this is right now. Right now, we are live on YouTube, not even Twitch TV, EliteAri, as I went to say. EliteAri is in the call.
Yes, hey everyone, it's
That's
me
your cue,
from the
idiot.
Chainsaw Man discussions. Do you remember me?
What we've done today is I have kept a mystery from everybody. I've kept it a mystery from my media checklist, which is right now out of date and it is killing me inside. And I've kept a secret from EliteAri and the chat and everybody. I have consumed a thing that EliteAri at least likes and talks about sometimes. And today I'm going to surprise him with it with an impromptu discussion. You may have seen our other discussions where we discuss many things with very prepared notes, sometimes without prepared notes, but we're very ready for it. Today we're not ready for it at all, or at least I am, but EliteAri isn't. And how exciting this is going to be. Everybody's been speculating. Are we going to be talking about Jujutsu Kaisen Season 1? Are we going to be talking about Doctor Who Season 9? Are we going to be talking about Breaking Bad, Miller the Killer said in chat? Ruby, there was some speculation. All these things the great EliteAri just loves so much. And here we are. Are we going to reveal it? We're going to reveal it soon. How exciting. What a great concept, EliteAri. I thought of this all by my lonesome.
Yeah, we'll see if it turns out well.
True. Yeah, everybody's got to stick with us. This is our first test. Maybe we'll iterate on this in the future. I don't know how much more stuff I can consume when I got Naruto, Revolutionary Girl, Utena this, and I'm trying to watch a TV show. Oh my goodness. So we'll see how often and frequent this happens. Also, chat is not on screen because we haven't figured that out for YouTube yet because, you know, we used to Twitch stream. But Miller the Killer has just said a chat. So let's read this out, EliteAri. What if the final slide of the PowerPoint is a picture of Ari's family dead, as Kyle has them murdered, and he wants Ari's reaction because he's a twisted individual? Now,
That'd be awesome.
Pretty funny. It's a big humiliation ritual. What would be funny if somehow you turn the tides on me or something, EliteAri, and you're like, I had consumed a thing, but then you'd consumed a thing and you distract me, and then we talk about that thing or something. Now that would be crazy.
My goodness.
Yeah, maybe one day in the future, if this is a grand success, EliteAri can be in the surpriser rather than the surprise E seat. EliteAri, you understand what I'm saying? EliteAri, you made some predictions on Twitter yesterday. What were they? I already forgot. Well, we had a technical difficulty, EliteAri, but wouldn't that be just, what did I just say? This is the first iteration of a great long-running, stupendous, great series. Now, you were giving your predictions was what I asked.
Oh.
On Twitter, you gave some.
Yeah, I have actually spent a bit of time thinking about this.
Oh my God, I'm in his head.
I was like, because there were things where I'm like, man, like if it is this certain thing, I should probably like at least think about it. But there's one thing I have which I'm pretty confident on, which is that I'm pretty sure it's going to be an anime. It would kind of surprise me if it wasn't, because it has to be something that you're like reasonably easy to consume. Like it's gonna be quick. Like it's not gonna be something. It's not gonna be like, for instance, it's not gonna be Doctor Who, for instance, which is like a ridiculous like long thing, and like you wouldn't even know where to start and what to watch. Right? Is my guess, but I guess we'll see. So, and it's also probably not gonna be like something. Like I don't think it's gonna be like a manga or something. I guess it could be a manga, but like there's. I don't know. It just feels. I feel like it's not intuitively. It's not ringing true to me. It's not going to be a manga. It's definitely going to be an anime. And with anime, there's like I went through my anime list and I was like, oh, what are like the like things that I think Kyle might watch that also fit into the category that like a lot of people have probably seen and that like I have definitely talked about before. And there were 4 that came to mind. One of them is going to be a terrible thing if you chose it, which is that there's 3 that let me just say the 3 that I think would be okay, which is JJK, obviously. I think that's probably the most likely thing. I think it's probably going to be JJK. For a million reasons, you know, it's topical, it's easy to watch. You've talked about it a lot recently. I'm making videos about it, blah, 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 blah. What a JJK.
I'm jealous of them views.
Yep. It could be Gurren Lagann. That is another thing where it's like a lot of people have told you to watch this. A lot of people have seen this. I like it a lot. I don't talk about it that much, but I do.
That piece of shit, Mr. Gems, isn't even here.
True, that is true. And then the last thing that I think it could be, potentially, is Mob Psycho 100. Purely because it's quick. Like, it's 3 seasons and you could easily, like, get that done. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it would be Mob Psycho 100. That sounds too good to be true, you know? Yeah. And the one thing that I hope it's not is Samurai Champloo. Because I love that show, but it's been probably 10 years since I've seen it. And I could not tell you a single thing about it, so... If it is, we're gonna have to.
Don't worry, I got a slide for every episode, EliteAri. Don't worry about it.
Oh, wonderful.
I've seen Miller is going off. He's saying it could be Hunter x Hunter. It could be MHA. But he says,
Well, yeah, that is true. Yeah.
and then he had Steins Gate Zero, which would be hilarious because I am supposed to do that with bacon. It would be
Have you
crazy.
seen Steins Gate Zero before?
I've seen everything but the last 2 episodes.
Okay, yeah.
It would be hilarious if Jockey Bacon was here to ambush you too, and we did just make this a 3-way discussion. It is not Steins Gate Zero. I can let the people know. I think it will be less. I think less of Kyle if it's JJK. True. Also, wait, never mind. I'll say that afterwards. But true, JJK sucks, EliteAri.
Right.
And but true, those are some interesting predictions. You're very sure of it being an anime EliteAri, so that's interesting.
It's true. I have like I have other things too. Like I can go through them very quickly, but I don't think it's these. But these are possible. Okay.
Okay, go.
Breaking Bad is possible, but too long. Avatar: The Last Airbender is possible, but too long as well, and I don't think you'd want to watch that. There's The Acolyte, but that's like I don't know why you would subject yourself to watching that, so I'm not sure. And you say that I like it, but I mean, I guess you could probably think that I like that show. So I don't know, maybe that.
Maybe it was Andor.
Andor would be crazy. Also, the fact that I haven't finished Andor would also be double crazy because then we couldn't talk about season 2 unless you've just watched season 1. I guess that's possible. There's Black Mirror. There's The Mandalorian. And then a crazy guess I thought of is, oh my god, it could be the first 2 parts of JoJo's. That could be a thing. I don't know. Crazy prediction. That's my entire list of like what it could possibly be. If it's outside of this, then it was never even crossing my mind as a possibility. So yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
But I think we're going to get into it real quick. So if the audience has any great predictions that they want to get out right now in the chat, I see we got 5 viewers, Leary. This is big. Now will be your last time because soon we will know about it. Isn't this just so exciting? Reminder, you could be reading Usopp versus Oh, that's a bit of a One Piece spoiler earlier. You don't look
I didn't read it.
Instead of this nonsense. But that is true. We could have caught up on One Piece. Maybe I'd watched the anime up until where you're up to, and we can discuss Tagishi and Smoker. What do you reckon, Leary?
And Daddy, yeah.
No, Daddy was some fake filler shit that I didn't know about. So, but if I'd watched the anime, I would. So can you believe it? Now, Leary, just to be extra dramatic, we got the countdown. Countdown in Japanese backwards. Ishini Sanshi Go Rock Shachi. Jew!
Oh boy.
Jew! I give up, EliteAri. 9, EliteAri. Oh my goodness. We got to slow this countdown down.
Wait, is it going to be revealed at the end?
EliteAri 8, and there's a hint down there. It says it's a TV series. What? 7.
Okay.
6. 5. It's an anime?
Oh my, I'm a genius. I knew this.
4. 3. But before it was an anime, it was something else. ...
A manga?
2. 1. 0. The EliteAri, I faked you out. This is where the dramatic music cue. True, it's a blank thing for the next one. Oh my god, EliteAri. It's going to be so funny. Everybody's got to go silent. Trip is here. Hold on, Trip's got a last minute prediction. Oh my god, remember those Attack on Titan videos? It's just JJK Moldo. You skip JJK. EliteAri hasn't seen that, so I don't think we could do that as a surprise discussion. But
sure.
We'll think about it next time. EliteAri, everybody go silent for EliteAri's great reaction. I'm so nervous, EliteAri. Can I press it? 3.
Go ahead.
What?
Wait, what do you mean? What does that mean?
1, 2, 3.
What, like the novels? Like, what do you mean? The manga?
Well, that would be a novel thingy.
Is that really what? Wait, seriously? Is that what you've done? You've read the first
thought,
thing?
what an idiot!
Oh, okay. Wait, what? I was gonna say that's like okay.
You were supposed to get more excited, EliteAri.
Well, I was doubting it because I'm like, how did that even work? But okay, true. Okay,
well, like, I could have read the first 3 novels and we could have discussed it, but probably that would be a thing we should probably coordinate beforehand because it would be EliteAri's favorite thing to do on his second channel. But that was really funny, everybody. Do you like that, JK? Wow. Also, Miller the Killer just freaked the fuck out a little bit.
That is... it was worth it just for that.
He said Lamau boring, and then we had a crying emoji. Lamau, this was the worst outcome. Don't worry, Miller the Killer. It was just a JK. I hope he didn't click off everybody.
Holy.
But that was funny. But I think with the next one... Oh, I remember the bit.
A fake out. I don't know what to believe anymore.
No. I nearly did 2... Well, actually, I kind of did 2 fake outs, but we were ready. Now, EliteAri, before we get into the real thing, I think it's very important to point out a great suicide. It's Sagapi's original sin, you idiot!
I don't know if... Do I believe this? Is this true? You've actually watched this?
Just kidding. I read the manga.
Is it... Now,
just kidding. It's the anime, EliteAri. Woo! I don't read any manga.
I don't know what to believe at this point.
Well, guess what?
What does that mean? Okay,
End of
go ahead.
slideshow. So this is the last one, EliteAri. This is the real deal.
Lovely. Okay, so you have watched the anime for Takumi's Original Sin.
I've watched all 6 episodes, EliteAri. Well, all right, so first of all, everybody's predictions were retarded. Obviously, I would do the shortest possible thing, which is Takumi's Original Sin, of 6 episodes. It's EliteAri's favorite anime of all time. Nobody even gets this.
It is true.
And also, it was a very funny fake out with the manga, because I was going to read the manga, but then I said, I don't care about Takumi's Original Sin. I'll just watch the great anime, and that'll make a better EliteAri discussion. Some other things that were very funny about the predictions was that, obviously, if I was going to do Breaking Bad, we would just do season 1. So...
yeah, true.
These were all in contention. In fact, I nearly did do a show and do just the first season. And I think if we do this again, it is what... well, I shouldn't have said that. But well, that's probably what I would do. But also, I changed my mind. Because at one point, I was going to do that first. But then I said, oh, no, Takumi's shorter and whatever. So we did this. So it's Takumi's Original Sin, EliteAri.
My goodness.
It wasn't JJK.
Yeah,
Everybody
sure.
thought it was JJK.
Because it makes sense. It definitely makes the most sense. I mean, this makes sense too, because it's just how short it is, I guess.
And the thing I was going to message Miller an hour ago, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure you haven't seen this, Miller, so don't get too excited. But here we are. So, and I did go on Miller's Mal just to check if he had seen it, and sure enough, it wasn't on there. But can you believe this is like the 47th ranked anime of all time, EliteAri?
I can definitely believe it, because it's a really good show.
Mm-hmm. And Miller the
But I don't know what you think about it yet, I guess. But...
that's true, EliteAri. We'll get all into it. Lol, boring. Why did you hype this up? Miller the Killer is saying he's more mad than he was about Mushoku Tensei.
That's definitely not true. He would have been really mad if it was actually Mushoku Tensei.
And he says Kyle hyped himself up for watching 6 episodes of anime. I did like most of it today, EliteAri. Are you impressed?
You know, I am more impressed by the fact that it took you like 2 weeks to kind of get to this point. It's only 6 episodes.
I was putting it off. I did only start like the first episode like 3 or 4 days ago. So, you know, now EliteAri, I was very excited. And then I did see that episode 1 was 37 minutes. And I said, this is not what I signed up for.
Yep.
But also, I had to watch 17 episodes of Utena like last week or something. So leave me alone.
That's right.
Oh, now EliteAri, we actually got to do a discussion.
Yeah, and you have to lead this because I have no structure.
That is true. Now, EliteAri, you've seen this show like twice, right?
Have I? Maybe? I don't remember. I know it very well. I'm familiar with it.
I feel like with Heavenly Delusion, it was on your media checklist twice because you were cheating.
I think it's very possible I did. I don't remember though. I think no matter what, I've seen the first 3 episodes at least twice because I made that video.
True, EliteAri. I watched both of your EliteAri videos, and I was so excited for the second one, and then I remembered this is just one of those fake digest edits. So
that's right.
My goodness. And all these sorts of things. So, EliteAri, do you want to do the funny thing where you guess what I thought about Takumi's Original Sin?
Yeah, sure. It's interesting because this is an anime adaptation of the manga. And I know that typically you would prefer to read the manga. Wait, firstly, did you read the manga for this at all?
No, I like skimmed the last chapter like 20 minutes ago.
Okay.
But I said,
interesting.
That seems like the anime.
Yeah, so this is a very well animated, really good art style, really good colors, really good visual aesthetic to look at. Like all of this is really good. Production wise, I think it's I think you'll like it production wise. There's no way you don't. The interesting thing is the story. Because I could imagine you falling into 2 camps of either thinking it's good and really good actually, and maybe you'd get emotionally invested in it, or you could be the other camp where it's oh, this is so cringe. They're trying to make us cry, and it's so sad and stuff, but it's cringe.
Cry
so
porn.
I truly cannot predict. Yeah, I cannot predict which category you'll fall into, but I think you'll probably at least like the way it looks, hopefully, and maybe the Attack on Titan references and stuff.
Oh my goodness! To you, 2016. Now that's crazy. 2,000 years. Yep. Whoa! Too bad I already knew that because I did remember that from EliteAri's discussions. Now,
true.
I guess I was spoiled on some things. I really didn't think about it too much while I was watching it, so I don't know if we have to go through all that stuff. Oh, actually, my first note is about that. I forgot. Now, I will point out that I did do this because you did rank it at #1 on your thingy. And I was like,
yeah, it's my favorite
what
anime.
the freaking hell? This isn't EliteAri's favorite anime. And then I said, maybe we should look into this. It's only 6 episodes or something. So that was the impetus for this thing.
Wonderful.
But I do have the... oh, well, I guess I can say what I think before I get into the what I knew going in or whatever, EliteAri. I'll say very interesting. Because I think this show is pretty good, EliteAri. You know, it was a fun time. I think... now, this is what you usually say at the beginning of our discussion. You say, I feel like I'm a little bit confused or something. So maybe,
Oh, wow.
EliteAri, and now this is great because you just watched the show too, because we prepared for this discussion. You can tell me what happened in the show. But actually, I think I got it by the end. But we can catch up on certain things.
Sure.
One of the first things you say in, I think, the actual scripted video you made is you were going on about how great the show looks. And I'm not going to sit here, EliteAri, and say the show looks bad or anything. But it's not a show where I was like, wow, this show looks like amazing or something. And then you started pointing things out about it, and I said, well, that is pretty nice. But I guess while I was watching it, I just never had any, I wasn't too cognizant of it. Now, I did like the Togepi stuff, of course. It's like a little, he's a different art style sometimes, and he's doing these little things. We love the great Togepi, EliteAri. He's cute, of course. I love the great Togepi. Now, he says P at the end of his sentences, EliteAri. You didn't come up with that.
He does.
That was very cute.
You watched the sub or the dub?
I watched the sub, EliteAri.
Wonderful.
Actually, the thing that I think most about visually about this show is the blonde girl's hair. Now, EliteAri, give me a second. Let me go through these names. We got...
Good luck.
Now, I think the boy might be the easiest one because it's like Azuma. Azuma.
Yes, good job.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah. And then Koze or something. That's the girl's name.
Huh? Koze?
What's her name?
It's not Koze. Wait, who are you talking about?
I'm talking about the girl, the sister from Utna.
Anthe Himamiya?
No,
sister,
the blue-haired guy's sister's name is Koze, EliteAri. I got confused. I was watching that episode today. Scratch that, EliteAri. Let me think again.
The blue? I don't even know who you're talking about.
There's the blue guy in Utna has a twin sister, EliteAri, that plays the piano, and her name is Koze.
Miki's sister. Yes.
You
okay,
stupid
yeah,
idiot.
continue.
Catch up.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
I was watching that today, EliteAri. Leave me alone. Now, it's not Suzuhara. That's Toji's name, EliteAri. It starts with an S.
Correct. Good job, Kyle. Yeah. Do you want me to say the name?
Yeah, huh?
It's Shizuka-san.
Shizuka, of course. I know the great
Yeah,
Shizuka
Shizuka.
here. She's not so great, EliteAri, sometimes. And then the blonde girl's name starts with an M. I remember that. And
This is the easiest one.
it's not just Miranda, is it?
No, it's Marina.
Miranda from Black Sails, EliteAri. Can you believe that? Now, Maria.
Yep.
What did you just say?
Marina.
Marina, like a marine animal, EliteAri.
Marina.
Just like Togepi is an
Yes.
octopus.
True.
So we've gone through the characters. I didn't really like this boy, EliteAri. So those episodes were a little boring, is what I would say. I do like the little twist. I will say I think my favorite part was like the end of episode 2 and then like the beginning of the next episode. But that's like the only time the show like, and obviously the show isn't trying to do this, but it almost has like a straightforward-esque plot, and I think I liked that for a second. But then obviously we're doing some weird things and we're remembering things from Togepi, and he used to be with the blonde-haired girl first, EliteAri. I think that's what happened.
It's really interesting to me because I don't find this show confusing at all. Like, it didn't even cross my mind as like a confusing show.
Well, I think, at the end, it's like all on this, like we're on the same timeline or something. And then I think when we went with the blonde-haired girl, initially I thought, oh, we're on a different timeline. But no, EliteAri, it was just a flashback, which was a different timeline.
Yeah.
But it's still it's not in chronological order. But it's easy. Like, everything's going forward. I thought maybe we were resetting the show or something, but we weren't, EliteAri. Right?
That's right.
Oh,
We started with Marina. She was the first person to have a Togepi in this little story.
Now that's freaking crazy. And also, when I was watching your videos, because first of all, it was a little difficult to figure out that we had time skipped at some point because they were a little older. But then I figured it out, EliteAri. Don't worry, because she has a scar on her face, and she doesn't have the scar on her face in the first timeline.
That's true. Yes. Yeah. Because
like the first time period, rather, not timeline. That would imply something else. So I figured it out, EliteAri. Now, where do we go from here? I think this show has a very interesting premise, and it was the kind of the premise I understood it to have, which is that this little Togepi guy, EliteAri, he's like from Elmo's world. He loves happiness, and he comes from the totally happy planet, and all he knows is happiness. And what if we confronted Elmo with abuse and suicide and bad things, EliteAri? And I said, that's kind of an interesting premise. And it is interesting to watch this little develop. This little guy, he sees the hanged little girl, EliteAri, and he says, what's she doing over there, hanging about, EliteAri? Togepi doesn't know, and then eventually he figures it out. And also, Togepi never learns, EliteAri.
True. Yeah.
Well, I guess maybe at the end or something. But still, even like he's like, she's like, oh, Marina's family sure love each other the way they talk to each other all the time, EliteAri, but that wasn't
Yep.
what was going on. They were having a fight and abusing and stuff, and that wasn't good.
That's right.
But this Togepi, so I think Togepi is a very, this is a great, what do you call it, a conceit. This is a great idea. You know, these popular anime, you always find at the core, they got a good idea. We got Attack on Titan, we got giant zombies, EliteAri, you never thought of a greater idea. We got Elmo meets Erased, EliteAri, good idea. You got Steins Gate, that's time-traveling microwaves. These are good ideas, EliteAri, and that's what you need in life, a good idea. Pluribus, that was popular because it had a good idea.
And Vince Gilligan.
Oh, we don't like that guy. That guy sucks. And we will not be reviewing his shows on my great surprise streams. Now,
That's
also,
right.
EliteAri, I'm not paying attention to chat at all, but once we start talking about the show, I doubt they're going to have much to say. But I'll check in a second, actually. Let me just go through the things I thought I knew beforehand, EliteAri, because that is the first note. I didn't know it was a time travel show. That's true. I had no idea. So when we started doing Steins Gate stuff, I was like, Steins Gate's the coolest anime of all time. I love what we're redoing things here. That was kind of cool.
Yep.
Now, we didn't do that for too long, but it was fun while it lasted. Why didn't anybody tell me this? I would have watched it. True. I thought it was a boring WoW isn't bullying bad guys anime, which is not what it was, EliteAri.
Yeah, you would have hated that.
For losers to cry to. That's true. Bullying is fake, EliteAri. But this was different. She was beating her up for a personal, actual reason, so that makes sense. Also, for some reason, I thought that, like, the show was 3 different stories with 2 episodes each or something. Now, this misconception came from the fact that I think you made a video after the 2nd episode, right, EliteAri?
I did, yeah. My first video, the only scripted one, is after 2 episodes.
Yes,
yeah.
yes. And I remember watching that video, and, like, I don't know why I thought the implication was, like, oh, and then the next 2 episodes are, like it's 2-episode arcs with Togepi with different characters and different scenarios where he's going to try and be his happy self and be confronted with horror. But no, it's all about the same 3 characters, EliteAri. They're on our screen now, so I was misconstrued about that. Which is why I kind of bought that the main girl killed herself in episode 1, and I was like, oh, she's dead. This is kind of cool. What's the show going to do now? And then when Marina died in the 2nd episode, I was like, oh, cool. What's the show going to do now? Is we have to move on from this character. But then we kept going back.
Togepi becomes her.
That is true. And then she comes back, EliteAri, don't worry. But that is true and true and true, EliteAri. So this is your favorite anime of all time just by how it looks, EliteAri?
I mean, that's a big part of it. It depends what you're asking, because for it to be something that I like a lot, I think it's like both the aesthetic and I think it's the story. Like, it emotionally resonates with me. For it to be like my favorite thing ever, it's like a bunch of things, right? Like, it's an interesting concept. It's cool character designs. It's the way Togepi says "P" after every sentence, right? It's small things like that. It's like the it's even like, I don't know, bits of animation that I like a lot. It's like the fact that it's short. It's the fact that by the end of it, I'm like. Yeah, by the end of it, I'm like crying over the message that it's like telling and stuff like that. The fact that it has like one of my favorite scenes is like right at the end, so it's not like I get to a certain point and I'm like, oh, there's nothing interesting coming up. Like, it saves the best moment or one of the best moments till the end, and I'm like, oh, there's a bunch of things that make this my favorite thing ever. But it is probably the emotional thing that it like lands so hard for me that makes it stand out, I guess. But yeah,
I will say I didn't cry in this show, EliteAri, but I did feel sad. You know, some sad things were happening. So it must have been emotionally affecting in that way. But why don't we just talk about the ending, EliteAri? That's interesting, because then if I understand these things better, maybe it will inform the other bits of the conversation. So, EliteAri, at the end of this show, the great Togepi suicides or something. He goes clear, and she puts her hand through it. That was kind of weird. And he's because of the great happy gadget, EliteAri. We love happy gadgets here. And they always make you happy, EliteAri. You notice that? And it's the camera that time travels. And he does something. He says there's a special function to this camera, and that lets... Now, did they time travel after he did this? Anyway, Togepi disappears, EliteAri. And then... But his, like, faint memory brings everybody kind of happiness a little bit, or something better. It resolves each character's story in a better way rather than the blonde girl getting murdered, the other girl killing herself, and this boy just being so sad because he got a bad test or something. Can't you tell he sucks, EliteAri? But,
true.
He's not that bad, everybody, you know. He couldn't tell his mom that he had the wrong glasses, and that was... sweet, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word, EliteAri, but that was emotionally affecting. True. So the message, EliteAri, is that in your video you said the message was about how having somebody to talk to is important. Hey, I hit the microphone, EliteAri.
Yes.
And that's why they walk off together at the end, the two evil bully girls, you know? And that's sweet, okay. But Togepi, why'd he disappear? And they kind of remember him sometimes, I guess, whatever, that's fine. Because there was a drawing, and then they see the pencil at the end of EliteAri. So, and you love this because?
That's a good question. Let me think back. So when I'm watching Togepi's going away, I think it's like, there's the element of, like, I'm trying to think. I don't know if I even think about it literally as like a plot thing. Like, I don't really care too much about like how if it makes sense like plot wise or anything like that, or like is Togepi there, is he not? I think to me it's like we experience this show and we see these two characters who live very similar kind of lives in terms of suffering, but they're very different people, but they have a lot of shared overlap, and there is a very common meta element to these two, which is that they both share a what do you say, like a double protagonist in terms of like Togepi, who's like following through their lives. And then the final episode after he sacrifices himself, we're living in a meta world where it's the same two characters that exist, but instead of having the literal embodiment of a character next to them, they have this shared representation of the stuff they have in common through this like symbolic Togepi voice that is like talking over the story. And like, I think to me, like I said this in my video, I think, but like right at the end when you see the pink stars in the sky, to me that's like, oh, this is a universe where like the connection they have is like made more symbolic or whatever. And when they see that drawing of Togepi in the book, it's like, oh, that maybe there is like some faint science fiction, like, oh, it's a time travel thing. But at the same time, this is a thing that like they both connect over. They both see this thing they drew and maybe they feel some special connection to it for some reason. Like maybe they're both like octopuses. They both like the little drawing. And this like brings them together to be like, man, let's like, why don't we just talk about stuff? To me, I think that's why it lands. But I don't have like a strong reading of it. I don't think like coherently.
So I thought of a few things here, Leary. So I guess the core question here is Togepi's goodness a good thing? Like, because at the beginning, it's kind of set up to be like he doesn't understand, and that's like a bad thing. Like, she killed herself, idiot. Catch up. This is not good. Do something about it or something. And he remains kind of ignorant to what's actually going on continuously throughout the show. But I guess in the end, like Togepi being in these people's lives is like a good thing. But I guess Togepi goes on a journey throughout the show, so maybe at the beginning it was bad and at the ending is good. That's like a character arc or something, EliteAri.
It is interesting the emphasis we choose to place on things. Like for me, I guess I don't really think about Togepi's character trajectory, but like the highlight for me, again, like everything I say I've probably already said in my videos, but a highlight for like Togepi characterization for me is the final scene he has where he is standing up to Shizuka, where like at the beginning he's like I have this thing I say in my video where it's like the smile of a child is worth any sin committed out of love or whatever, and it's like, man, Togepi is like killing Marina because he thinks it's like gonna make Shizuka smile, and all he cares about is making her smile. And they're like,
he's gonna kill Shizuka to make Marina smile.
Yeah, exactly. That's like the thing he does. But at the end of this, he realizes that like what he does is not like he can't make her happy. But even if the thing that he could do to make her happy, if that's going to hurt other people, then it's like not as simple as he thought it was. Like it makes other people sad. It makes him sad. Like he just doesn't know what to do. But he's standing up against like what Shizuka's trying to do because he knows that it's not going to make people happy or whatever. I feel like that's a character arc. I don't really think about it much. I don't know. Togepi is a character. I haven't thought about it too much. I'm sure there is something interesting there, but I don't know.
Well, I guess the more central point is like, what are we saying about Togepi's disposition, sort of thematically, I guess. And like, because in the end, it is sort of like his like coming down and involving himself in these people's lives does make them all better in the end. So I don't know if it's just like he's good at the beginning, he encounters some bad stuff, but he retains his goodness, and then like his goodness prevails in the end in helping them live better lives, which is interesting because it seems like in the first two episodes, like the fun of the show is almost seeing him have to clash with these things and sort of like reflect that this mindset is bad, of like maybe we shouldn't teach kids these Elmo-esque lessons about how good things are good or whatever because things are more complicated, and like reality isn't a thematic message in a story or something, especially a story like Elmo where it's like if you smile you can get through anything or whatever. But in the end, even though that doesn't help you when you're in despair, once you come out of despair, that is kind of the mindset you end up having. So I don't know if it's just the cycle of grief or sadness or something, which is interesting. I will say, I think my favorite scene in the show, or shot in the show, is I think it's after that scene you're just talking about, where they have the confrontation, where they're just walking for like days, and they're just crying together, and it's like, oh, this is like the point. This is how you actually get through your dog getting eaten by those no good sisters you have, EliteAri.
Yeah.
And you just gotta sort of like bear through it. And it is nice if there's somebody there to cry with you, and that's why talking and crying with each other is important, which is what they say.
You know what's actually, I just thought of something which I don't know if it holds up, but it is interesting in that I guess in that scene where Takabi is walking at the end, Takabi kind of takes the symbolic position of a parent, but not in the sense of being like more intelligent or more like responsible for Shizuka or anything, but to be someone who is there,
a support
who isn't
network,
able to completely empathize with her. Well, it's like someone who isn't her peer.
I was thinking about this.
Like Takabi, yeah.
Like he doesn't understand.
But,
Takabi is the representation of a parent, because from a kid's perspective, a parent is never going to understand your problems, because you have completely different problems. Where like your problems as a kid is like going to bed or something, and people not understanding that what you want. But then you also don't understand that things you want as a kid are bad for you, and like there should be people there to tell you like you can't do the things you want or restrict your freedom in this sense. And it feels like all encompassing and totally oppressing, because it is. But it's like you just got to sort of accept it's in your best interest. But like all these characters have terrible parents who do not do the things in their best interest. So it's like Takapi is like the parent that he needs, and because there's also this scene where Shizuka is saying like, when my parents were divorcing, I wished upon a star for something to like stop it from happening, and nothing happened. So that's why nothing will ever change, and there's no gods or something. But it's like, is Takabi supposed to be like that, but arriving a little later? Like, is that what it is? It's like she wished for a actual parent or something like that, or a support network or something like that, and here Takabi comes, and in the end, he does help out, I guess.
Well, it's interesting in that like he helps out, but really what he does is facilitate the true answer, which is, instead of a parent relationship, is a peer relationship with Marina, like a communication with someone who understands you more so than a parent. So he's more of a facilitator, I think, than like a solver or a solution.
But it's kind of, I don't know. I guess when you're wishing upon a star, you are wishing for somebody to come down and solve the problem rather than point you in the right direction or something. But yeah, it was a plea for help, and then help came in the form of our great Togepi. Or something like that.
Well, yeah. There's extra elements to talk about here, which is like the name of the show, Togepi's Original Sin. So,
True.
Are you aware of like what original sin is and stuff?
That's when that dumb bitch Eve ate the apple.
That is also my understanding. Now, I'm no expert, but I think it is like the original sin of like betraying the
knowledge.
father and his advice, and it's like taking the tree from taking the apple from the tree, which is something that we see directly in the show. When Takabi returns to his planet, and then you see people picking the trees on Planet Happy, and it's like, oh wow. And then obviously what happens is that Takabi leaves that planet and disobeys his mother, which is the stand-in for God in like that situation. So there's a very direct like reference to the like Planet Happy is the Garden of Eden, and like the mother is like the symbolic stand-in for God.
I guess she was.
Her problem is like she is, yeah. Well, and what an interesting portrayal as well. Like the planet looks so different, and she has like a tentacle, like
she's like a mist or something.
Thing, like, yeah, it's like super cool.
It's like the Shadow Lord in Del Toro Quest.
Maybe
that's like
if
an evil devil.
About that.
Not a god, EliteAri.
But she's not evil, you know. She doesn't even know what killing is. She's like, kill? What does that mean?
True, because killing only exists with humans or something, and God wouldn't know about that. Except he would. Maybe. He created people or something, I think. But
not at that point in the Bible. Who knows? Maybe he did.
Well, if they're eating the apples, they gotta exist, right? But
that's true. Yeah.
Also, didn't like everything but humans exist first or something, EliteAri? You know, I know the Bible, EliteAri. You should just sit back and listen to me. Now, I was going to say something about this planet or something. Oh, it's also interesting that Togepi, like, has that relationship with his mother, where it's like, he reflects on that, I think, as he's killing himself, where he says, I should have just talked to my mother a little bit more and she would have understood or something, because he, like, steals something and then runs off. So they've all got parental things. But also, if you think about God is the parent, EliteAri, and God is abusive for putting us in this miserable world. But, you know, maybe we should pray and try to speak to him, EliteAri.
I hope that's not the message of the show.
We gotta confide in the other people, EliteAri. That was the point you were saying, not parents.
Yeah, this is the point. It is the conversation, talking to people. Even I think it's made very explicit when the mother, I think when Takabi leaves, is like, "Oh, I wish you could have talked to me, son," or whatever.
Yes,
it's like, oh,
yes. There was something to do with something there, sometimes EliteAri, I just don't remember all these things. But is Takapi good? Wished upon a star, I said that. Oh, the suicide thing, because also, is Takapi committing suicide at the end? Is that supposed to tie into the fact that we think suicide is bad at the beginning? Is that even what he's doing? I don't know if there's supposed to be some sort of a commentary on suicide. But EliteAri, you best know that there is a content warning and you should heed it.
Yeah. Do you think the content warning was necessary?
I don't know.
True.
It's interesting. I feel like content warning for like rape stuff would be is much more appropriate, because like that's a thing. Like if I don't know, I guess if you found somebody killed, I'm like trying to think of like if you suicided, you're dead. How are you gonna watch this show and get triggered by suicide? But it's like no, people got to find the suicided people, EliteAri. But also, I feel like you're more.
It's not even that. I think it's more so if you're suicidal watching the show and you're like, man.
Oh, you'll get the idea, EliteAri. That's probably a good point. But also, I think it's just like it's probably a legal thing because you don't want to be accused of promoting suicide or something.
Kyle, it's a hype and aura thing. Like when you see that trigger warning at the beginning, you're like, oh my god, it's gonna be crazy. Sure, they got like a warning here.
That's what Doki Doki Literature Club did. I was gonna say something funny.
Oh, that's a good one.
But it was actually about suicide. There was substance in the funniness.
Blur says, I do not like this show.
Oh my goodness, we got chatters, EliteAri. I'm on my document in my
we got one chat. Okay.
We love Blur. Blur used to make edits for Attack on Titan.
I remember, yeah.
Now I've completely lost it, EliteAri. Who knows what I was going to say about suicide? My last note on the things you said was parents are bad, EliteAri, and that's true. They all have bad parents. You know the worst one? That glasses guy's mother. She was the worst, EliteAri.
Well, I feel like Marina's mother, who like tried to kill her, she's probably worse.
No. Tests and stuff, EliteAri. How lame.
True.
It turns out her pancake sucked anyway.
Actually, I was gonna say she's directed to seem the most sinister, but it's definitely Marina's mother.
True.
Marina's mother's the most terrifying.
Well, she's like
the way
crazy.
That she's so. It's the bipolar nature of it, where it's like she's so happy, but on the surface, you know that happiness is gonna explode at any moment into like I guess fury or like abuse.
She's a good faker. This faker girl.
Yeah.
It's funny how young and happy she looks in that photo, huh, EliteAri?
Who? What photo?
There's like a photo of them when they were younger, and she's very happy with her husband, who is paying attention to her. She looks just like a girl from a different anime, but I forget which anime.
I could not tell you. I don't remember.
True. It might be the K-On girl. But anyway, that's a thing, EliteAri. True. And so we got the ending and all the thematic stuff. I think we covered that already, so that's pretty good, EliteAri. Now, talking is important, and kinship and something. I will say, I think it was a little bit abrupt that we were friends at the end, EliteAri. I did think that a little bit with Marina and Shizuka. But whatever, they like developed. And even like when we flash forward to them in high school or whatever, she's still trying to kick her and stuff. So they still got a bit of a prickly dynamic to their friendship. So that's something.
Yep.
Oh, there was
It is super cool that Marina still has the scar though in the future. I
True.
Like that.
Because all that thing still happened. Because even in your video, you're like, oh, all these things are still going to happen. And you're like, Shizuka's still going to try and commit suicide and fail or something. I was like, I didn't think about that.
She might.
No, you said it so authoritatively, EliteAri, that I full-heartedly believed it. So don't backtrack now. You'll make me lose hope.
See, I've watched my own videos hundreds of times because I just love my own content. I think that is a point. I don't remember if it was that or was the Marina thing. I remember thinking on one of those watch-ins where I'm like, maybe that isn't true actually, now that I think about it. But you know what? I'll commit to it. If it sounded good, it's true. And
sometimes in life, EliteAri, you just gotta lie. You just gotta fake it till you make it. You know what I'm saying?
If it sounds good, then it is what it is in a video.
Can you believe this glasses boy turned on Marina?
What does that mean? In what sense?
Well, he was dating Marina, and then he said, I gotta leave you for this other girl.
Oh, I can definitely believe that, yeah.
That wasn't cool.
I feel like that happens.
This silly boy,
it is not cool, yeah.
He just gets hearts in his eyes, EliteAri. Because that girl looks like his mother.
Yeah, true, yeah.
And they said something about double eyelids, and EliteAri, I have no idea what that means.
Neither do I, but I know it's like a thing I've heard before, but I have absolutely no idea what it means.
Must be Japanese or something, EliteAri.
Yeah.
Now, I love a woman with double eyelids. What do you think I'm signing myself up for?
I truly
Like a
don't know.
lizard or
Someone
something? You know how sometimes you
like
see
Shizuka.
you see a lizard close-up slow-mo, and it's like it's got an eye that opens? Actually, I think that's crocodiles. But
True.
crocodiles are lizards or something, right? They're reptiles,
Yep.
Eliteari. You gotta
There's
understand
something like
these
that,
things.
yeah.
And there's also amphibians, and we got fish, which is what Togepi is, right?
No, I don't think an octopus is a fish.
Is it a mammal?
I don't know what it is. I think it's like doesn't Joe Rogan say it's an alien or something? I got no idea.
That's true. And this one was an alien, Eliteari. Joe Rogan's onto something.
Yep.
That's what I always say. Octopus has
Yep.
got to be a fish. It's not an amphibian.
There's no chance an octopus is a fish.
Yeah, it lives in the water and doesn't come up for air, so it's a fish.
I lost ChatGPT.
A shark's a fish, right? It's got
Shark might be, I'm not
fins.
sure.
Of course a shark's a
An
fish.
octopus is not a fish. An octopus is a marine invertebrate.
Fuck off, ChatGPT. You're just making shit up. Invertebrate, that's like a bug, right?
I suppose, yeah.
Because that means their vertebrae is on the outside. But I've seen an octopus and I didn't see no bones on the outside. But they say that about insects, and you never seen an insect with a skeleton on the outside like they try to tell you in science class, Eliteari.
Yeah.
Speaking of bugs, Shizuka likes collecting bugs, Eliteari.
It is a very cute small character quirk that is not needed, but is really, I appreciate that it's there.
I misread that one of the moments of her because the boy's brother turns up and like I think Togepi is pretending to be Marina at that point and he's like blushing or something. And then Shizuka was also like freaking out and I was like, oh my god, does she want to fuck the brother too? That's kind of interesting. She's never shown any affection. But she was actually because there was a bug on Marina's head that she was actually excited about. So I was like, oh, that's what that was.
Yep.
But true.
True.
What if all the girls, the girl that he sacrificed everything for, just liked his brother Eliteari? That would have been sad.
Yep.
Did you know he has a PS4 and he likes Monster Hunter and Marina has a DS? That was kind of crazy.
I don't remember this, but that's pretty great.
They have a whole conversation in school about the PS4. Everybody's surprised that
I do remember that actually.
Azuma
yeah.
has one. And then one of the kids is like, I just have the controller. And I was like, that feels like something a kid would do. They don't even have the console, they just have the controller and they want to imagine themselves playing it or something.
Yep.
And that's true. Marina has a DS in the intro Eliteari. And then in one time we're seeing flashbacks of her as childhood or something. And it literally, there's like a box on the table that says DS. So I don't know how they got the license from Nintendo, but I assume they'll be getting sued soon. And what was the other thing I said? Oh, and the brother did say, you know, I'm not good at everything. I suck at Monster Hunter Eliteari. I remember everything. I watched the show today.
Yep. What did you think of the opening?
The opening... Oh, am I confusing it with the ending? No, the opening is the cool one where Togepi comes down.
Yes.
And
crashes on a spaceship.
There was a thingy that shot him down. That wasn't cool, America.
The military,
Yeah, that's not cool. The what a weird detail, but cool. I don't remember the song. I would if you sang it or something, but right now I cannot recall. You're not helping, Eliteari.
Right.
You tried to do this in Utna too, and I love the Utna
I just
one.
can't sing, yeah.
But yeah, if I had sang, I would have got it first try. Now, the ED was like a sad, slow song, and they played like a different version at the end, and that was cool. Like a more triumphant version at the end or something.
I actually don't even remember the ending song.
Well, it's got a bunch of pictures of Togepi too, but I don't remember it, Eliteari.
All right.
Like I can't sing.
You know what I do
otherwise
remember? The greatest anime soundtrack song of all time. Can you tell what it is?
Yeah, you said this in your video, but I didn't remember it then, and I don't remember it now, and I couldn't hear it in your video because I had it on 2x speed. So,
it's the la 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 la, and they just sing that. Like, oh, it's so perfect. Oh my goodness.
Maybe I would remember it if I heard it sung by a real boy, but right now I'm blanking. I do not remember the music of the show, and just like Vinland Saga Eliteari, that show doesn't even have music, I'm pretty sure. Now, oh my god, somebody said it was such a drag. Oh, Shizuka's great mother Eliteari said, this is such a drag or something. That's like Shikamaru.
Wow.
That was one of my like 7 notes I wrote down Eliteari. That's how important that was. Now,
wonderful.
Shizuka's mum Eliteari, that was what I was going to transition into. She is escorting, can you believe it?
I can believe that, yeah.
Marina said she's a no-good parasite slut bitch.
Yeah, she like stole her dad.
Yes, the dad. Thus justifying the bullying Eliteari.
Probably not, but yeah, it in her mind it certainly does. Yeah.
Trip just said a funny thing where he said, "I'm so Pokemon brained, I keep saying Togepi, but I'm pretty sure I'm saying Togepi Eliteari."
Yes, well done. You wouldn't disrespect him. He's the best character in the show.
Togepi is a very cute though, Eliteari.
Okay.
He's the little egg one. You've seen Togepi before.
Yeah, the one that, no, I don't know. I know there is one in an egg, but I'm probably it's like chick
It's the
something.
one.
I
It's
don't
the
know.
only one in the egg. Google it on your second monitor. You'll be like, I know Togepi. Now, Lamau, I fell for the
Oh yeah,
he's.
that is the one.
Yes, EliteAri,
Yeah.
of course it was. There was a funny moment, EliteAri, where for like half an episode, I fell for the like. She says the dog is going to live with your dad thing, and I realized like 2 minutes later that obviously like the dog is dead, and like this is a thing that they say in shows, and that's really funny. But like I believed it, and obviously the characters continue to believe it up until the point where she shows up at the door. But that was very funny. I like caught myself like 2 minutes later. I was like, oh. The dog's dead. I was like,
They
oh,
got
that's,
me.
that's kind of nice that the dog is. I was like, oh, as of course, if I was a dumb kid, I would fall for that. Even though it seems so obvious in retrospect, I fell for it literally in real time. So that was kind of funny. You hate dogs, EliteAri, so you hated all the dog parts.
No, I think the relationship with Chappie is actually very well done.
Oh my god! In the intro, they say
yeah.
"Lucky, Super, Chappie" or something.
True. Yep.
It's at the end.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it is the standout scene with Chappie is absolutely the first scene where she takes Takabi to her house and Chappie like jumps on her and she's like happy for the first time. And it's like, oh, like this is all she has. Like there is no one here. It's a lonely house, but all she has is this dog. I completely buy it. And I'm completely invested in the Chappie storyline.
That's a Mad Men
in a very
scene
atypical
where
way.
Rachel says, you know, you got to buy your daughter a dog because that's all they need. That was sweet. Now, the true, I was going to say something about the dog. That dog bit that lady. Unbelievable. Now, also,
true.
oh yeah, I thought the scene you're going to bring up is like the first scene at the end of the. Well, I don't even know if it's the end of the first episode, but where she shows up without the dog on the collar and she's like very sad and she's all beat up, and that. Well, I remember that one, EliteAri.
That is true. And Takabi's like, "Oh, your face changed color."
True.
Like, oh, yeah, true.
Takabi doesn't know. Takabi's a big idiot. The best.
Well, we can talk about the dad stuff when we get the reveal about this. Or do you want to talk about that later?
True, he took off and he's got a new family, and he recognizes her at first, but then he pretends not to.
It is true, yeah. And he replaced the big dog with a tiny little dog.
True, I hate little dogs like that, EliteAri. They're so gross and ugly.
Oh my goodness. I hate all dogs equally, so I don't know. Well, not really. That's definitely not true. I think I probably do prefer small dogs, but
no, we love big dogs. Big dogs are good.
Yeah.
Now. But true, and EliteAri, you pointed this out in your video where it says like she was actually dirty.
It is really cool, yeah. Seeing her perspective versus everyone else's, yeah.
It's true. And her mother didn't tell her where she stunk, and that wasn't cool, EliteAri.
Yeah, there are small things like that. That's one example of her saying that at the end. Like, I know people say I stink, but where do I stink? And then the glasses thing is another one, I think, where it's like being so afraid to like ask for new glasses.
True. Now, I did remember the stink one from your video when I was watching the show, EliteAri, so you ruined it for me. Nice going.
Yeah.
Cool. Togepi is like a meta commentary, bro. We already talked about that, about Elmo. Oh, there was a funny thing where you, in your video, you said there's nothing, like, you haven't actually seen anything that's like this. And you know what's funny is the thing I thought about was, like, it kind of has the exact same structure and the exact same kind of not so happy, kind of happy ending as The Last of Us Part 2, which I thought was interesting.
Oh yeah, true.
Where you see both sides of like they're both beating each other up and you hate them at different parts, and then on the other side you kind of like the other one when they're like the victims or whatever, and then at the end it's like it's not really like a super happy ending, but something happens and they sort of both just like walk off in a distance or whatever. And it's kind of hard.
Yeah, I think that's a good comparison.
That's just something funny I thought of. There's nothing too much deeper with that. And that is all my notes, EliteAri, but there are things we haven't talked about. But I do have 2 images pasted here that are interesting. Do you know anything about the great author of Togepi's original sin, EliteAri?
Not a single thing.
Well, because as I said, I was scrolling through the manga, and I scrolled through the last thing, and at the bottom it has like, oh, thank you for watching, and then it has a little thing. Actually, this is probably in every manga volume. But did you know this was a Shonen Jump Plus manga?
No.
That's kind of crazy, huh? That's why they have these suicide warnings.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Well,
that is interesting. Like, what would that make it a shonen, right? If it's in like a
great shonen anime.
That is kind of the craziest thing.
Well,
like,
so is Fire Punch, and Fire Punch is like crazy.
Fire Punch, I could imagine appealing to kids though, like young boys or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, it's got the trappings of it. Yeah. I guess this does have it less. This is like much like it's in an erased category with me. I have no idea what Erased magazine Erased was in or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's true, and he has a second manga or something. It's already finished. It is funny
Wow.
because this was from what December 2021 to March 2022 because there's only like 16 chapters, so it's a very short manga. But it has on here Togepi was like the first manga on Shonen Jump Plus to get like 2 million views a day or something, which seems kind of crazy. So this is the most popular manga of all time, EliteAri, and none of us had ever heard of it. It's also funny because I think at some point it would have been going at the same time as Chainsaw Man Part 2, and I bet it was thumping that Chainsaw Man Part 2 that sucks and nobody likes, right?
Maybe, yeah.
Is there anything else? I didn't actually read this out properly, but I think that was all the interesting stuff found here. Oh, and then this other manga was called The Ichino's Family's Deadly Sins. And the description here was like a mystery, and it was weird. It said something, the name is a middle schooler who loses his memory in an accident. He is able to safely reunite with his family, but as soon as he's faced... but is soon faced with the new shocking reality. What is going on with this family? From the creator of Togepi's Original Sin comes a new kind of dramatic story. So that sounded almost interesting, EliteAri. But
That sounds like a comedy.
well, no, it has a promise of a new kind of dramatic story, EliteAri. I read it's all fucked up and stuff. Though the cover image did seem soft. It was like this guy smiling at school or something. Whereas the Togepi one is literally the Shizuka girl crying. So maybe it is some sort of a comedy happy manga or something. But in a few years when this one gets adapted and it's the most famous thing, EliteAri, you'll know it from just this moment. Now, what was the title of that thing?
That's right.
The Ichino's Family Deadly Sins. 7 Deadly Sins, EliteAri. You ever heard of it?
Never. Well, it's an anime, yeah, I've heard of it.
It's probably not very good. What haven't we talked about, EliteAri?
The great classical music that is played when Shizuka smiles after Marina
Yes,
dies.
this was the best scene in the show. She killed that bitch, and I said, yeah! And she was dead
kind of crazy.
on the ground, and then I was like, the show did an interesting thing where it's like, I'm waiting for them to like rain on my parade here of happiness, but they kept like upping the happiness with the music, and then they're both like happy about it, and you're waiting for Shizuka's, she hasn't said anything, and you're like, she's gonna say, Togepi, what did you do? But she says, Arigato gozaimashita! And she says, I love you, Togepi.
Dun, 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 dun.
I always wanted this
so
dumb
great.
bitch dead, and now she's dead, and this is great. And I was like, oh my god, this is great. And then the next episode, this boy finds him, and I said, oh no. But then he was in on the plan. He helped hide the body. And also, they just made her a coffin and left her there.
They did a very poor job of burying that coffin.
And because it is true. You just think this kid must be a genius because he's got glasses on or whatever. And he says he knows a thing from books, but the thing wasn't even properly buried because he's a dumb little kid, EliteAri.
Yep.
And that was funny. There was a geological survey happening there.
Yeah, true. There were signs.
So this kid goes to turn himself in.
Oh god, now you're stretching my memory here. So Azuma, I think he does. Oh my god, I cannot remember. I think he does, but like they don't care because it's like it's not him or whatever.
Yes,
right?
there's a scene of like the girls gossiping, and they say, but they don't even think it was him or something. You know who's really at fault here? That dumb bitch Shizuka or whatever. And then we cut to the police talking to her or something.
Yeah.
But true, but he did go through with it. Even after talking to his brother, which
He's in
was
love.
interesting. That is true. Oh, it was great where Shizuka, you're starting to see the cracks, and maybe the Shizuka girl isn't the lowly great victim we know her as, because she's like, you got to take the fall for me. And he decides to. And it's also another thing where you're like reassessing, like, she's kind of similar to Togepi in that moment, where I'm not sure if she understands what she's asking. And you sort of have to play, like, maybe she does, but maybe she doesn't. And it's like, oh.
Yep.
What are we to think here? That spurred me to want to bring up something. True. Oh, that's what I was going to talk about. It seems like she didn't kill her sisters, right? Because there's a newspaper thing that says the 2 girls that were kidnapped were found safely. So
yeah.
But then later she has a line where she's like, well, Togepi's like, you can't like open up more people's bellies or something, like that's not a good thing or something. It'll hurt people. Which seemed to imply that maybe she did, but I'm pretty sure she didn't.
No, she didn't. If I remember, I don't remember that well, but I think it was like she kind of scared them or something. Like she told them she would do that or something like that, right? Or maybe not.
Yeah. Well, assumingly
like
she
a
did
threat?
actually kidnap him or something.
Yeah,
there were
of course.
newspaper
But I
articles.
don't think she killed anyone.
Well, she killed Togepi or something, didn't she?
I guess he committed suicide because of her actions. I guess I don't know. What
Well,
do you mean?
no,
When did he
under the
kill her?
bridge, he like goes. I guess maybe she just hit him.
No, not at all. Yeah.
Because there's a shot where like the blood goes beneath the thing and creates. It's like a cool little shot where like the
It is
blood
a very cool shot.
goes through, and I was like, oh, he's dead. But then he can't die or something, and he like goes back to the happy camera bit when he dies or something. But I guess that was probably not what happened.
No, what happened? It's a very linear story, but we just get a flashback to the Marina Pass storyline.
So did she
like, we
just
go
beat him up and leave him there?
Exactly, yeah. And when he's like unconscious or whatever, that's when we get the flashback to Marina and Tucker
True,
together.
that's
and
when
then we
characters
continue
always
forward
be having
after that.
flashbacks when they get their heads knocked. That happened in Duncan Egg episode 5, EliteAri. What was your favorite episode? 9.9 or something.
Episode of the decade is what I hear.
Yes.
Those damn Breaking Bad fans, they're downvoting it.
And we will not be reviewing Breaking Bad on this stream. We don't like that show.
That's right.
But true, we cleared that up. This brother. Oh, I kept waiting for a plot twist where the brother was like cheating on all his tests. But that did not happen, EliteAri. He is just a genius.
There was something there I remember reading. I don't remember what it was, like in comments and stuff. I could not tell you. It had something to do with the fact that he got a job and he actually was doing something.
And then he
like
got
was failing
fired.
something, or...
And for his last paycheck, he
Maybe?
paid for the new glasses.
Is that what happened? Is that an actual thing? I don't
Yeah,
remember.
I think so. Or he paid for something.
Wow.
I think it was the new glasses, because somebody asked him
You know
about his
what?
new
I couldn't tell
glasses.
you.
And Tuggapy's like, do your glasses change if you're a human or something? Tuggapy doesn't understand that glasses are not part of his face.
Yep.
But true.
True.
And the mother was bedridden or something. I hope she's freaking dead, EliteAri.
Yeah. She made bad pancakes or whatever. That was a cool reveal, actually, where it's like the pancakes are not good. Yeah,
True.
like he was looking forward to the whole time, but the older brother doesn't even like them.
Oh fuck, I was thinking something about a parent. Oh, it's the father's always like, Marina's father is always saying, I'll spend my money how I want, EliteAri, and that wasn't very nice.
It's true. Yep.
When a lady marries you, EliteAri, and she doesn't have a job, that means that your money is her money.
That's right.
And you can't just spend it any way you want because she's given up her possibility of a career.
Maybe. I don't know if that's why, but true. Maybe.
And that's not nice. And he shouldn't have been seeing escorts like that no good mother of Shizuka.
I don't have any moral position on this. I haven't really thought about it.
I was
Probably
waiting
not,
for
I'm
you to
guessing,
push
but
back on that
I'm
one
not
because
sure.
that last one I was saying comedically, EliteAri.
I just haven't thought about it.
But if you refuse to have pushback, then I look like the bad guy. And that you should
I
have
don't
a
know.
moral
I
position
can't
on.
tell you.
Your moral position is
moral position.
Kyle Entertainment cannot look bad, okay?
Okay, but he can look back, which
That's
is
our marriage contract. Oh my god, Pachita had a contract, EliteAri. What is that, tomorrow?
Yeah, final chapter.
Are
No
we in the-
spoilers for our great audience here.
Are we in the shilling portion of this review, EliteAri? My goodness. I don't know
What else is there to say?
if I have much more to say, but if you can think of something, I'm sure there is more to say. I just can't think of it right now.
I mean, it's a pretty short show, 6 episodes,
That's
very
true.
clear structure. Like we've talked
Who
about the
made this
beginning,
show,
the middle,
EliteAri?
and
Which
the end.
studio?
Some studio I've never heard of. I don't know,
Studio
let me have a look.
Mappa. My goodness, they can do it all.
Let's have a look. Wikipedia, Takopi's original.
It's easier
sin.
if you look it up than me looking it up on my phone, because I'm not good at looking things up.
It is made by Studio Enishia.
And what else have they made, EliteAri, is the real question.
They
here.
have made Takopi's Original Sin and a lot of other stuff that I've never heard of. So they've got Spice and Wolf, Merchant Meets the Wise
Spice and Wolf, that's a big show from the 2000s and something, but I think you're talking about the sequel here.
Maybe. Yeah. Okay, so just for context, we've got Takopi's Original Sin with 298,000 members on Mal. Then we have the Spice and Wolf thing, which is 260,000 people on Mal.
Wait, how much should
their
Tuggapy
next
have?
popular thing, 200 or 300,000 for Takopi, 300,000.
That's not that big of a difference, my goodness.
Yeah, and then 260,000 for the next one, and then 6,000 for the next
Epic.
thing. So
And
they got
what-
2 things, all right?
What is the year on that Spice and Wolf one?
This year is 2024.
Okay, so that's definitely the sequel, because I remember Spice and Wolf on, like, Top 10 Anime of 2007 or something. So that's an old-ass show. That
Yeah.
show's about like a wolf girl that falls in love with a guy in like the Middle Ages or something, I think. I remember thinking it was cool whenever I
Awesome.
saw footage, but I never actually looked into it, so my goodness. Will it be our next surprise discussion? My goodness. Anything could happen later.
Probably not.
But true, these people, you know, the art in this show is probably good, EliteAri. I just wasn't paying attention or something.
Mhm.
Oh,
I think it's like it is the best aesthetic I think in an anime for me. It's like
they have skinny
it's
legs.
so yeah, yes they do, but it doesn't bother me in like the skinny leg Code Geass kind of way. It's a very different
No,
kind
it's
of skinny
different.
leg. Yeah,
It didn't bother me.
it is also the
EliteAri. I
fact
never
that they're
said
like
that.
kids, so they have like big heads as well, and it's like big heads and skinny legs makes
That's
sense, I guess.
true.
Whereas in Code Geass, it's
They've all got ugly heads
Um,
too.
I don't know about that. What do you mean, like the shape of the head?
Yeah, they're like weirdly shaped a little bit.
It is I don't know how to describe it. It is like it's not anatomically correct or whatever. Yeah, I agree. It's like a weird. It's a stylized look. I like it. Yeah. Marina also looks like a lot of characters that I've seen before. There's one girl in Licorice Recoil that she looks a lot like. And there's another girl.
How did you
in,
not predict that? Because that was like an option I was thinking of, by the way.
Licorice Recoil. I guess because like no one's seen it. It'd just be me, and I don't know.
I
if
thought
anyone else has
everybody. I
actually
thought that
seen
was a
it.
very popular show, EliteAri. Have you misled me?
Is it? I don't know. I mean, it's a show I've heard of, but I don't know if anyone like in the chat.
I'm sure
has
Heath
heard
has
it or,
watched
like,
it. But
Probably,
isn't that like
yeah,
20
true.
episodes or something?
It's 12, I think.
Oh, it just shot up the ranks.
Yep. Good show. Really good show.
Also, I was suspecting you to think it was going to be Zenshu, by the way, but it wasn't.
Oh, it didn't even cross my mind.
Yeah.
It definitely could have been Zenshu. I don't know why that didn't cross there, obviously. Oh my goodness.
You were
yeah.
thinking Samurai Champloo, you fucking idiot.
Oh, thank God it wasn't, because I don't remember a single thing about it. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Holy.
But true. I do have... Well, actually, I'm not going to say that. Because I don't want to say, like, the other idea I had you hadn't
Yeah,
said, but I
good
just
idea.
did say that because fuck it. But that's funny. So we like to keep them on their toes.
True.
But true. Togepi's Original Sin, EliteAri. If you asked me what number rating I was going to give it, I would have absolutely no idea because I just finished it.
Wonderful.
But also, I don't know. I felt weird about... I don't know if it was part confusion. When we had that thematic conversation at the beginning, EliteAri, I said, this is kind of interesting. So, you know, it's got something there going in that end. I have no idea. I don't expect it to be more than an 8 or less than a 7, EliteAri. But, you know, a 7, that means it sucks. An 8 means it's pretty good. So
when you think Tatakobi's Original Sin, what is the thing you will think of? What is the standout?
I just thought of them crying and walking, and then I would think about bashing that girl's brains in with the happy computer or whatever it was.
Yep.
Now I'm thinking about Togepi on his homeworld, EliteAri.
Yep.
This is actually a very interesting thing I was about to say. Is the only other anime I've watched this year is Cyberpunk Edgerunners, and I was comparing it to that. And then I think Cyberpunk Edgerunners, and I keep saying this, and it is a stupid thing, but it has stuck with me, is that I like the vibe of the OP and the intro and how they were used in the actual show of Cyberpunk Edgerunners. And I think I like that more than I like anything in Togepi's Original Sin, which might lead me to think that maybe I like Cyberpunk Edgerunners more. But Cyberpunk Edgerunners is also in that 7 or 8 out of 10 thingy, so I don't know. It is interesting.
I don't know what to say, you know?
The popularity of
disagree.
things probably does affect how I feel about things, because, I don't know, it feels cool to stand up for Diebuster, EliteAri. Now, I don't want to stand up for Togepi's Original Sin. Everybody already likes it, so me saying, you know, it's pretty good is good enough. I don't feel like I'm going to... Togepi's Original Sin is not going to be part of my great anime identity moving forward, where I'll have a fervorous passion for it. Now, I would be interested in watching some reaction videos, EliteAri, and that might sway me one way or another. That could be fun or interesting. I don't know who's reacted to it, EliteAri, but I'm sure
That is a good question. I'm trying to think. Did the normies react to it? I've definitely seen at least like 2 reaction series through this. I think RTTV reacted to it from that.
Nah, that's epic. They would. They jump on things that are popular very quickly. They're smart.
Yeah.
That would be a funny one. I bet they really liked killing the girl in the 2nd episode. That was epic. I bet Semblance of Sanity have done it, EliteAri.
You know, I just looked it up. It's actually completely unrelated to what we were talking about, by the way. Togepi is very similar in popularity, at least on my anime list, to Orb, which is kind of interesting to me.
Interesting, yeah. They feel like they do feel
300,000.
similar, where they're like popular in the anime community, but I don't think they like got out of it like a JJK or a what would be another example of that. That's the only anime Free Ren.
My Hero.
True, My Hero or any of these popular shows.
Yeah.
Like Sentenced to Be a Hero episode 1, but nothing else from that
Right.
show. I could see Moist Critical making a Togepi's Original Sin video, EliteAri. Did he do it?
Not that I remember, but maybe.
What is
He did
funny?
make an orb video though.
Interesting. What is funny is I did, because quickly after I watched your videos, I did just like Google Togepi's Original Sin essay or something. And every video essay seemed absolutely boring. 27 minutes about what Togepi's Original Sin has to say or something. And it's like Togepi crying. I'm sure these videos are good, EliteAri.
Yeah, I think, well, I got that impression when I was watching them on stream, where it all felt like people took a very different message than I did. Where they were all
that's
focusing on the
interesting then.
trauma aspect, or like the
It's a
I don't know,
abuse.
it's weird.
Can you
Yeah,
believe it?
that's what everyone talked about. It was like a show about abuse and stuff. Where to me, it's like, I guess that's there, but it's like not really. To me, at least, my reading of it. But yeah.
Interesting. Anything else to say about Togepi's Original Sin right now, EliteAri?
I'm glad you watched it. You know, that's it.
Oh, how happy you, EliteAri! My goodness, you're just so happy.
I'm very happy. Yep, my
What
favorite anime has been watched. By
That
one
is
more
true.
person.
EliteAri did have it at #1, which was ridiculous, but I had to watch it. I had to see what's this thing got cooking. I think it would have been more interesting if I hadn't watched your videos on it, perhaps. But
Yeah, probably, yeah.
you know, I can't prepare for these things. What, when I watch The Garden of Words, I'm gonna know everything, EliteAri. Next week.
You definitely will, yeah.
Be here for that.
You'll know the main appeal of that movie. It's 40 minutes. That's like a 2
True.
episodes of the show. 1 episode of the show, the first episode.
That's true. But I think we're wrapping things up now. Well, everybody, that was our first edition of this fun new concept. Actually, we'll save all the posts because we still got some stream time. So if you want to hear the post-show review, the meta review of this, and how we can improve it going forward, and what we're going to discuss about that, you can go and watch the VOD on the other thingy. And for those of you that don't care, we can let them go now, EliteAri. I think that's a smart idea. Anyway.
Yep.
We will probably, I don't know, I feel like it went okay, so we'll probably see you again for something like this. You can catch our Chainsaw Man chapter review that might just be live in about a day or so when this gets uploaded, I'm sure. So everybody should be around for that. We've got Revolutionary Girl Utena coming up next Tuesday or something, whenever EliteAri uploads it. I got to record it this weekend, so I was going to say this weekend, but that's not true. On the EliteAri channel, so you can go check that out. We've also got Naruto will be coming out a little bit early, I think, this month. It'll probably be the end of this month rather than the beginning of next month, so look forward to that. My goodness. We've got many discussions coming up. Can you believe it? That's it, EliteAri. Well, we're sending the people home. Support links in the description below. Thanks.